The power of leverage. How to get 10x results without working 10 times harder. Who is this for? This is for entrepreneurs, content creators, coaches, consultants, and service based business owners who are overwhelmed, underpaid, and stuck in slow, linear growth. You want to earn more without working more, but you don't know how. If you want the cheat code, stick around to the end of this video. You'll have what you need. So, the primary people, solo business owners like myself, if you're struggling to scale because you're doing everything yourself, such that if you're not in the business, you don't have a business, this is for you. Coaches and consultants who are trading time for money, stuck in one-to-one work, this is for you. Content creators and digital marketers posting all the time but not making real money, this is for you. Faith-based entrepreneurs who want financial freedom without compromising their values, this is for you. And if you're one of those small business owners who's been doing things for a while, and so you've been relying on a manual process, but it keeps you stuck, this is for you. So, what are we struggling with? Probably time overwhelm. Always busy, but never making real progress, working 40 to 60 hours a week, but not earning what you deserve. Yeah. Maybe it's the fact that you're stuck in one on one work and you're unable to grow without working more hours, and you thought that you became an entrepreneur so that you'd have freedom, but that's not what you found so far, and you feel like you're a hamster on a wheel, and if you stop, your income stops. If you find that you're having inconsistent revenue with feast or famine cycles, some months are great, some are terrible, no predictable system to attract the right clients effortlessly, no no comfort of knowing what to expect, this is for you. And maybe you're burned out from social media because you've been posting all the time and you haven't gotten much engagement or sales. You feel like you're stuck in low ticket offers and you're overwhelmed with the tech. I think it's because you don't have a leveraged business model. And so that's why at the top we said the power of leverage. When I say that, no one gets excited. Whoa, the power of leverage. Oh, David, teach me the power of leverage. But once you know what it can do, it's the secret that you're missing. It's the thing that creates 10x results. Then and only then you get excited about the power of leverage. So if you have been someone who found out painfully that your business stops when you stop working, you realize you don't have a business, you have a job. You just created a job where you work for yourself. Then you need to create something different using leverage so that you actually have a business that's freeing you instead of making you a slave. You're one system away from making 10K, 20K, 30K on autopilot. You want to make money while you're asleep? It involves a system. If you're not using AI and automation, you're leaving dollars on the table. And so I made this video to help you. I'm hoping to get you to listen by telling personal stories, showing social proof, making it simple, actionable, and yes, using urgency to let you know truly this is what happens. I or someone else, we create a program, we're doing a beta launch, and so it's very affordable. People take advantage of it. We get a bunch of testimonials. Then when we relaunch it, it's no longer in beta, so it's no longer an amazing discount. It's still a great offer, but now more people can take advantage of it with confidence because there's more testimonials, which means that I or whoever's offering it is going to charge more for it. That's why you should take advantage of catching the offer when it first comes out, because um, you and I hopefully have known each other for a little bit. If you've been following me online for the last 2 or 3 years, you know that I'm a person who cares a lot about my audience. I'm consistent with what I'm doing and I'm honest. So I'm hoping that you'll take a few moments to watch this video and gain the insight of how leverage can get 10x results without working 10 times harder. So let's get into this. Where does this concept come from? The idea, the idea of leverage has been around for centuries. In the physical world, it's as simple as using a lever to move a heavy object. But in business and in life, leverage is about using resources, systems, and tools to multiply results without increasing effort. So I know you've seen those pictures of a really long, okay, maybe you played seesaw when you were growing up. And so if you got on the seesaw, so one person on the one side of the seesaw, another person on the other side of the seesaw, you all could go up and down, and it was a fun game. Now, if there was someone who was like an adult and was really big or heavy on the one side, it was a little bit harder for this process to occur successfully, right? But weren't you curious about how you could have like a stick, you could have something underneath the stick, but it would help you to lift up something that was a lot heavier than you could have lifted otherwise? That is the power of leverage. Modern thinkers like Naval Ravikant have expanded this idea into 4 key areas of leverage when it comes to business. Labor is hiring people to do work for you. Capital is using money to generate money on your behalf. Media is using content that spreads without effort, like podcasts, social media, books, videos. And then automation or software is technology that works for you 24/7. These are 4 different kinds of leverage that you can use to allow you to get 10x results. The world's most successful people don't work harder than everyone else. They stack multiple forms of leverage. Okay, if I could stop right here and you only got one thing, listen up. Let me say that again. The world's most successful people, they don't work harder than everyone else. They stack multiple forms of leverage. So this becomes an obsession, a good obsession, where you think, okay, what are the different ways that I can use leverage so that I can put in $1 and instead of getting $2 out, I get $200 out. This is understanding stacking multiple forms of leverage. Okay, so what's the most extreme example of leverage? Let's break it down. What happens when you use all major type of leverages together? Imagine this. You write a short digital guide. So this is media leverage. You write it once and you sell it for $27. You run ads. That's capital, right? Capital leverage that bring in thousands of buyers on autopilot. You use an AI chatbot, that's automation, to upsell to a $497 course automatically. You didn't do it. The bot did it on your behalf. You build a community, one-to-many leverage, that nurtures buyers into a $10,000 mastermind. You hire a team, that's labor. Maybe you hire some virtual assistants, and they handle customer service and they do many of the actions so that you don't have to do them. So you scale beyond yourself. So that way, when you're in Jamaica at the beach, your team is hiring what the automation isn't handling, right? So you're not doing it because automation is doing it, but when automation isn't doing it, your team is doing it. So you're leveraging labor, the team, you're leveraging the capital to run ads, you're leveraging technology to do the automation, to house the course that you're selling or the community that you have. So when you use multiple multiple forms of leverage, you stack them on top of each other, that's when you have extreme success. That's when you become wealthy. This is the goal for each and every person under the sound of my voice who desires to have an online business. You desire to figure out how to have the kind of business that allows you to be there for your children, that allows you to spend more time together as a family. You need to learn to stack multiple forms of leverage. So let's talk about, real quick, let's review the 4 different types of leverage. There's other people's time, that's labor. So you can hire employees, or you can have independent contractors or virtual assistants to do tasks you no longer need to do. That's something like a coach hiring a team to manage sales calls so they can focus on high level strategy. Capital would be, let's say you have an uncle and you borrow $5,000 and he gives that to you so that you can run ads. So you're investing money to generate more money, whether through ads, real estate, or stocks. So an example is, let's say that you've proven you have an offer that people want and you've gotten results for people. So in my case, people want help learning how to do social media. I've had Content Creating Academy now for a few years, and I've helped several people to get results. So then it would make sense that I borrow some money from my uncle to run ads, and every thousand, let's just say every $10 I spend, I generate $50. So that would mean if I spent $1,000, I generate 5,000, or 10,000, I generate 50,000. This is when you're using capital as leverage. Then you can use media as leverage. This is content that you create. So whether it's on social media or a podcast, or whether it's a course that you create this content, and then the content can work while you're resting. So you write a book once that sells for years without additional work. That's an example of what we're talking about. Then automation, software, letting technology scale your impact. You have AI, chatbots, funnels, systems that run without your daily involvement. So you set up an automated email sequence that turns new leads into customers over a series of emails. So the secret is that the richest people are stacking all 4 types of leverage. So you may be sitting at home, you may have been trying to figure out, well, how come my online thing isn't working? Are you stacking 4 different kinds of leverage? Then you may need to dig a little deeper to figure out success with your online business. All right, so how do I apply leverage in my personal life and in my business? Well, leverage in your business. High ticket versus low ticket scaling. Old way, you trade time for money, you manually book clients for one-on-one, and you do personal sales conversations for every offer. New way, leverage growth. You use automation. You use AI chatbots and automated funnels to do the selling. You sell one-to-many with group, and your offers are one-to-many, group coaching instead of one-to-one. You do webinars to sell. That's you giving information and then selling at the end to a group of people. That's one-to-many. You have digital products, which you create one time, right? But then they can be sold using the software over and over and over and over again. You use paid ads. That's using money so that you don't have to use your time. And $1 turns into $3 and turns into $5 on autopilot. Do you get how this leverage is the key to scaling and growing a business? So an extreme example is if you run a simple $27 ebook funnel, and you spend $3 a day with ad spend, and then you use an AI chatbot to sell an upsell for $197, and you let Stripe or PayPal handle the payments, then you can net $10,000 a month with 0 ongoing effort. Can I say that one more time? You literally can create a $27 ebook, and you create a landing page. You use software. Our company has software called Biz Greenhouse that we use to do this. You create the product, you put it for sale. I can go live like I'm doing now, or I create reels, and then the reels send people, if they want additional information, like if they want to learn more about leverage, and I have a book that explains this, then they click the link in my bio, or they say the word leverage, and then they get this tool, and then when they get the tool, it has an upsell, something else that would give them even more help, and several of them take that, and you see now you have a system that's developing a regular, predictable income every month that you can count on. All right, another example, leveraging in content creation from one post to an empire. The old way, you just write a post and you're done. You record a video, you're done. You post on Instagram and you're done. The new way, you create one piece of content and it becomes 20 pieces of content. You automate the distribution with AI repurposing tools and scheduling software. So once again, I like using Opus Clips, where I can take, like this video that we're making right now, I can take it and put it in Opus Clips, and it can make 10, 20, 30 reels that I can post. And then I use the scheduling software inside of Biz Greenhouse to actually put each piece of content to be distributed at regular time intervals on all the different platforms where I'm active. That's another form of leverage. So you have one large piece of content that gets broken down, and using the software, it gets sent to multiple platforms. So then I'm able to create evergreen content that gets viewed for years. Another extreme example is a 1 hour podcast that can turn into 10 YouTube clips, turn into 30 plus social media posts, 5 email newsletters, 1 full blog post, 2 paid ads, a mini course for passive income. You get the idea. All right, a couple other ideas. This one is in personal health. Let's say daily you're trying to decide what you're going to eat and when to work out. That's the old way. New way is you make a plan in advance. You automate your fitness plan. You pre-select workouts and meal prep and wearable tracking. You leverage the accountability of being in a group challenge. We now are running our 21-day Faith in Motion challenge, where we use biblical principles to help you get the transformation that you've been praying for. So you join a challenge like ours that has built-in motivation because you have other people who love and care for you, who are trying to get similar results, and you all encourage one another. Then you stack habits. You can link new habits to existing routines. One example is, I remember doing this where every time I would go to the restroom, when I would come out, I would do a push-up, or I'd do a plank or something like that. So I know every day I'm going to be using the bathroom many times a day. And so by linking something that I'm going to do as a habit with something else that I need to do that's going to help me with my fitness plan, I leverage this technique called stacked habits. All right, so an extreme example of biohacking your health is where you have meal delivery, wearables, AI-tracked workouts, and a health coach and community to stay in peak shape with almost zero mental effort. Health doesn't have to be a struggle. It can be automated. And now when it comes to lead generation and sales, from manual to autopilot. The old way was cold outreach, one by one, calling the next prospect, and then you'd make custom proposals for every prospect, and you would follow up manually. But the new way, once again, using tools like Biz Greenhouse, you automate your emails and your chatbot sequences that close the sales. You have proven sales templates inside. You have a referral system that brings clients in passively. So, I hope that you've heard what I've said. You might have thought you just aren't working hard enough. Some of you might have thought, I just need to pray harder. I need to pray longer. I would like to suggest to you that sometimes it's just that you don't have the right strategy. There's something that someone could tell you, like I'm trying to right now, that would literally change your life. So how do you start using leverage today? Choose one area: business, health, health, wealth, relationships. Those are the 3 areas that people care the most about. You identify 3 ways to multiply your results, to stack leverage. Set up one system that ensures success and stick with it for 21 days. So I would like to encourage you, take action. You've heard something that can give you 10x results, please do it. If you want help, you have the opportunity to join our 21-day Faith in Motion Challenge, where we're teaching biblical principles on personal transformation, and part of the principles that we teach help you to do just exactly what we're talking about here. So, I don't want to belabor the point, but I want to end with this. If you know what to do that you aren't doing, and you don't choose to take action to do that, there's nothing that I can do to help you. If you want me to help you, I have made the 21-day challenge, because it's the beta version. This is our second one that we're doing. I have made it pay what you can. The suggested retail price is $97. It's a $935 value. But the next time that we launch it, it's not going to be the same pricing structure that it is now. So you have an incredible opportunity, and I would invite you to go to faithinmotionchallenge.com, faithinmotionchallenge.com, and sign up. But regardless of whether you sign up or not, make a commitment today. Today, I will take action to use leverage to change my life forever. This is David, the Digital Creator. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I'm sharing principles that have helped me to get over 1.5 million followers online. One weekend, I'm going to close with the story. One weekend, I remember making a post in advertising that I would share with people how in one weekend I made $30,000. You might be freaking out. How in the world can I make $30,000 in one weekend? One of the people who I study with, he teaches his students how to do phenomenal things, how to make 100,000 in one day, 1 million in one day. But let me tell you what it was, because this is the key to leverage. I had a relationship with someone who owned 2 businesses. In my dealings with this person, I had been a person of integrity. To this day, I desire to be a blessing to this person. Because he was grateful for what I had done in the past. He had a need. He desired to be a blessing to me by giving me the opportunity to serve his need. But he was willing to take this risk because of his know, like, and trust factor from our previous relationship. You do not know all the opportunities that are within your reach that you haven't discovered yet because you haven't made an offer. And for some of you, you may not have treated everyone around you with the respect necessary for them to refer you or to take you up on your offer. So I invite you to think about the fact that leverage can take me from where I am to being 10x, 20x in revenue, to not having to be stuck in the business, but having systems that run the business so that you can go on vacation. You can take your mother, like I'm going to take my mom to her medical appointments, but I have a system and I have automation and I have relationships, I have labor, and so I'm able to leverage those things so I can take my mom to an appointment or go on a trip to visit family, and things can keep going. So I invite you, my friends, to make a commitment today to use leverage. And I promise you, using leverage will transform your life. My name is David, the Digital Creator. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. If you enjoyed this content, please feel free to like, comment, and let us know what was your favorite takeaway and how you're going to use leverage to either change your health or your relationships or your business. And if you're interested in our support as you try to do these wonderful changes and use leverage, visit faithinmotionchallenge.com to join our challenge. I love you. God loves you more. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video and celebrating your transformation. Take care.